Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be focusing on how to connect the Angular with the MySQL table and how you can retrieve the MySQL table into a front end, and you can show it into HTML table and you can manipulate it. Okay, let's start with. So I have a project called as Angular table. So in this, I'll be creating one file. I'll be creating a HTML file. I name it as index. Okay, so Angular table is my title. Then I'm going to retrieve the information from the database, and I'm going to put it into a table. So I just name it as a table. So I want the information to come inside a table. First of all, since it is Angular, so we have to put the Angular content in. So I copy certain things from my include file. So I take a Bootstrap, I take a jQuery, and I take Angular, right? So these three, I feel it is necessary, right? But jQuery I'm not using it, but still it's better I add it through. Okay, here it come. Then I have to add it this one, so I just drag and drop. Yeah, then we need a jQuery to come. Then I need the Angular. Yeah. So I've added with Bootstrap, the jQuery as well as Angular. Now so I need a connection, so the connection string I'll be writing inside one PHP file and I name it as a SQL. So here I write str string is a MySQL I connect. So the first parameter will be the host, that is a local host. Then you have a username as a root. I have a password as roamstit. Then you have database. So I have a database. So let me go here. Database name is external duty. So external duty was my database. Yeah, that's what we have. Okay, so I come in here. So I'm going to retrieve this one out. So first of all, I'm going with a script. So I'm going to make it as an Angular app. So first of all, I have to add ng-app is equal to my app. Yes, so then ng-controller is equal to my controller. Now I create our app is equal to Angular dot module. Okay, now I create a module as a my app, and then for the single application. So then we have app dot controller controller. So the controller name will be a my controller, and then we have a function with the $scope and $HTTP. Okay, so I directly have to call this one now, so I don't need anything. I don't need some on click or ng click is not necessary. I directly call it. So I start with HTTP dot get. I'm getting a value. So get from where? Get from the external DT. What I have to get? I have to get the user details. So I create one file as a one PHP file. I name it as a get user detail. Right. So I created this one out. Now I directly include it. Include the SQL is a connection string. Okay, then I write query $str. I directly write it. Select star from the table name is a user detail. If I have active flag, yeah, I do have active flag. I just write a condition where active flag is equal to 1. Yes. Then after this, I'll be running this one. So I take $1 result is equal to MySQL query, and that's $SQL is a connection, then $str will be the query. This is $SQL. PHP $SQL. It is not a str $SQL here. So now the $SQL will be found. So you get the outcome here. So now since you have a multiple rows here, you have 1 2 3 4 5 6 rows. So the 6 rows will be fetched into a result. So I have to fetch one by one. So I'm putting it inside the while $array is equal to MySQL fetch underscore assoc of a dollar result. So this one will fetch one by one row, and that I'm going to put inside one array. So I create one array, so it's called as a dollar details is equal to one empty array. I just do create it, and then dollar details. I'm just going to append it is equal to dollar array. So this one will be appended inside the dollar result or dollar details. So if you want to go with a initial method, you can write like this: dollar I is equal to 0, and then you can write dollar I here, and every time the while loop goes, you can make dollar I incremented. That is a one way. Otherwise, directly also you can do this. It's not necessary now. Okay, so that's what we have. Now what I do, so I just send this dollar details. Yeah, so I send it through a json.encode dollar details. This will be my response. So I take it from the table, I put it inside the dollar details, and I'm going to pass the dollar details as a response. So I come here. So what I should be a get, I should need to get it from the get user details, right? So there is no parameter to put, just put directly a function. Sorry, then then you have a function here will be contain a response. So I can take variable result is equal to response dot data, right? So now uh, rather than putting into a variable result, I create one $scope dot user details. Right, so $scope dot user details is equal to response dot data. You want to see what is there inside a $scope? I just put a console here, console dot log. You can check the value will come inside the user details, $scope dot user details. Okay. So this is what we have with the Angular table. So if I run this Angular table, the value will come inside, but it doesn't show anything because we have nothing here inside our body. Okay, let me just delete this one out. So I have localhost, I say Angular table. Okay, I have this. Now you can go to our console tools, and you can find it here in the console. You can see there's an array which contains all the data, right, when I've been reloaded. So this is what the console.log do. It just puts it inside the console window. So whatever the data you have, now that means the table content has been came to a front end as a response, and we just need to display it. Yeah, so we can go back here. So since it has been there inside a user detail, I just comment this one out. I take one table, I take a table I put a class as a table, that's a Bootstrap table, and I take it as a table, not a border, table stripped line by line, and the table response. Yeah, I make it sometime because I always do this stuff. This the table looks better. So I have a tr table row. I say the first row what it should need to contain. We have a database something like this. We need a name, we need a gender, we need an index. Okay, so I write first one will be the number, second one will be the name, gender, department, and I print the, yeah, initial, that will be fine. So I print only a 4 rows from this table, the rest is not necessary. So what I do, so tr, I do td, so that will be a number, and second one td, that will be a word. We have name, name after name, we have name, gender, department, name, then we have gender, then we have a department, then we have initial. Okay, so now I'm going to access it from the user detail. Every details has been put inside the user details. So next table row onwards, I'm going to put it inside it. So for that, I write ng repeat. So user details, otherwise I say user in user details, user in user details. Yeah, so I'm just going to put first one will be the number. So how do I put the number? So I take td, the number will be found inside a dollar index. Dollar index starts from 0, so I want the index to be start from 1, dollar index plus 1 I do. Then second part will be the name. So now you see in the table you have a heading as a name, so you get it as a user dot name, right? So next one, yeah, sorry, it should be in the double brackets, user dot name. Okay, then you have user dot gender, then you have user dot department, dpt. If it should be dpt, it should be dpt, otherwise it never works. If it is the entire department full name is there, then you have to put it full. Okay, so then finally you have as a initial initial full is there, so I have to put it as full. Okay, so here we have got so all the table details. So once you have in there, so they just directly retrieve it. So simple is that, just you retrieve it and you're going to display it over here. So let me just run this one out. You get all the table here, right? So this is a bootstrap table for you, so you can reduce the width whatever you want. So I'm going to put this one into a container, so then it will looks better. So I take one div, I take a class as a container. Okay, so I minimize the table, I cut from here, I put it into a container. Okay, and I give some padding top as a 4%. So now you can see this my table how it looks. We have entire values and you can search into it. Now what I can do, I'm going to give you some of the features of the Angular. So the reason why the Angular is famous. So imagine you want to search in this term. I say something like this, tr td. Okay, so I'm going to give this td some column span. with some 3 rows. Okay, and I write one input. I give an input type is equal to text. Okay, and I give some ng model, ng hyphen model. I give it as a search user. Some name I give for this ng model, and I bring some bootstrap into it. So I take a class, yeah, form control. So that will give you full. Then td. I don't write anything else. Column span. Total how many rows we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I take 3 here and 2 here. I take 2 values and then it is nothing. I just take a one more row and we say it as a search user as a ng model, and I'm going to put this one as a filter here. So I just put filter as a search user. So why I did this, let me just show you. Search user, and I give some placeholder here, placeholder, um, type search. I just give this, right, search. Okay, now it looks something like this. You have a search bar here, so you can click on something. Now you want to search Shrikant, so I can write Shrikant. It's going to work here. So look at that. Search user see. Okay, here we have a problem. SCARCH search SCARCH user. The name should need to match. So I reload here. So I click on Shrikant. Now that will be filtered. Right, as simple as that. Rohan. So that will be filtered. It's not only the name what you are typing it. Now imagine you want to know who and all there inside the CSC department. You just type CSC. Now these two guys will be filtered. So any field you want. Now you want to know how many females are there. You just type female and that will be filtered, and that is beauty what the Angular has it. So if you're trying to access the MySQL data using the Angular, it gives you a strong platform where you can manipulate the data. That is what the Angular becomes famous today. Yes, this is how you can access the table from the Angular, table from the MySQL, and you can use it in the Angular or the HTML form. Thank you.